What's up, my friends? Welcome back to the channel, and we have to talk about Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. I am hoping that we're gonna get some information on this one soon, and we need to talk about some of the most important features, the must-have features, which we need to have back in this game, alright? Because as you guys know, Budokai Tenkaichi, not Kakarot, Budokai Tenkaichi has been known for like tight controls and, you know, super high over-the-top combat. So what do we need, right? So these are the 10 things that in this article, they're actually summarized very, very well. So the first one, we need tight cinematics and controls, alright? This is very, very important because in the Budokai Tenkaichi games, we know that we need to have proper combat. It's going to be really quick, it's going to be really tight, and especially you have to be able to react to certain attacks in like split second. So that is literally a must in a Budokai Tenkaichi game. If the controls are not tight and fast and like intuitive, then the whole gameplay becomes what? Sluggish, slow, boring. So it's really important, alright? Now, I like this one here, loading screen minigames. I mean, personally, I don't mind, but it was quite funny because, you know, all the Budokai games, Budokai Tenkaichi and also Budokai, but also Budokai Tenkaichi especially had, of course, a lot of mini games, and they were quite funny. Now, the problem is that these days we have the SSD. So the SSD is so hyper fast that you're not gonna have the loading screen per se more than like 2 seconds. So this is gonna be almost pointless because of the speed of the SSD, right? Now, all of us were waiting for this, guys, of course, a super giant roster. We need to have at least 100 playable characters. Now, I know that some of them were just different variations because you had Goku early, mid, and late, and then obviously Goku Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, which, of course, you know, like, it's almost like the same character, but just with different moves, right? So that's why the number increased a lot. But remember that we had lots of, like, characters from the movies, we had characters from GT, we had characters from, what was it, from the early Dragon Ball series, alright, which is really cool, Tao Pai Pai, and, you know, all this stuff, Goku Kid, you know, stuff like that. So especially now with Super coming into play, having, of course, like, you know, Super characters would make a ton of sense. So they have plenty of space, plenty of resource to effectively give us a roster which combines the best of Z, the best of GT, the best of Super, and I believe that with that, everyone is gonna be 100% happy, guys. Now, minigames. This one was an interesting one. So Dragon Ball Z Infinite World had, you know, lots of flaws, but as this article really rightfully says, the variety of minigames featured was endearing and timeless for most fans of the series. So minigames were quite fun because they were quite cool, right? So I believe that minigames in Budokai Tenkaichi to kind of like ease the pace, for example, like Street Fighter 6, the new one, the new game, has like different mini games and their options, like, you know, different conditions. So I think it's a good idea because it just makes, like, you know, it just breaks down just combat into something more fun than just combat, okay, which is really cool. Now, the next one, this is a must. This is a must for myself, a detailed world map. Now, this was the story mode in the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2, featured the interactive map which you could fly around, and that was super awesome because, like, the Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was more like narratively focused, okay, but Budokai Tenkaichi 2 had like the combat and of course the navigation in the world map, which was, I believe from my point of view, navigation on the world map is really important because it just gives you that sense of exploration, discovery, and you just don't go from fight to fight to fight. Like in a Dragon Ball game, exploration and like seeing the world through your eyes, same as Kakarot, for example, right? It doesn't have to be as expansive as Kakarot with like tons of side quests, that's not the point here, okay? But to have like a world to explore, to collect the Dragon Balls, I believe that that would add a lot of immersion and make people come back to the game, especially because in the world map, for example, you could add like different difficult enemies, special enemies, which would crop up in the story. You could go and fight them. Maybe if you fight these enemies, you get specific rewards, new skills. So there's tons of ways to basically make the game more than just going from stage A to stage B to stage C in the fight, in the succession of fights, right? This would give it the opportunity to become a game where even like as you explore the world and you choose different characters, you always find something new to play, which is of course really cool. Now the next one, the ultimate battle game modes. Now this one from my point of view was really cool. One unique feature in the Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and 3 offered you was a chance to tackle some impeccable hard missions. Depending on the difficulty you wanted to tackle head on, Z-level difficulty bots were capable of taking any pro. And that's true, guys. I mean, when I was playing this game a lot, even though I play sometimes on the emulator, like I play on sometimes on Z difficulty, and guys, it's freaking hard. Like sometimes I lose a lot, sometimes I still win, but like it just shows that the AI like is really evil and like really like hostile. So I believe that it was a good challenge for people, of course, really good challenge. And you can even like challenge yourself even more if you really want to. So you just choose one character and that's it. So you just one-man army against like 5 enemies in these particular missions, right? Which was really cool. Now, next one, this is one of my all-time favorites, to be honest, the What If Sagas. That's right, guys. So the What If Sagas is, from my point of view, guys, one of the most memorable like experiences in Budokai Tenkaichi, especially because it was unique. Like it was unique and something new which you would not see in the anime, you would not see in the manga. It was effectively kind of showcasing what if this would have happened in the story, which would mean that the battles would happen in a very different way, right? And of course, the main protagonist maybe are completely different people, all right, in the game, which is really cool. I mean, I personally believe that they should bring this back, especially because now we have all the multiverses and the time patrollers and all that stuff, so they can easily implement it together in the game and give us something interesting in it, right? Now, number 3 is the Detaileddestructible Stages. These were also quite popular in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 especially. The only problem I had with the stages in the Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was that they were really small because they were made for the PlayStation 2. That was fixed in the Kakarot game, for example, because in Kakarot you can just fight endlessly. There wasn't that much destruction in Kakarot, unfortunately, but in this one they could actually add destruction and lots of mountains and stuff, and as you fight, the mountains can basically like, you know, stay destroyed, and you can see the destruction you've made, and like if they will leave the destruction in place and see like the beams and everything, like the dark places and stuff, it would add to the immersion that, yeah, you are basically destroying the field as you play. For example, just give an example, if you do like an ultimate attack and then it hits the earth, like the earth splatters into like a small cutscene, and then like the whole environment changes, like the earth becomes like more like destroyed, the sky becomes darker, like there's lots of like thunderstorms and stuff. So for example, that'll be a really cool thing because they could definitely make it happen, right? And just give you that immersion a bit more in the game, same as it happened in the Budokai Tenkaichi games, right? Which is really cool. Now, the team battles, I am pretty sure this one is gonna come back. I mean, it has to come back. You had different team battles that you can swap around with your character, and effectively you could like swap like with 2 different 4, 5 maximum, and effectively really cool because with this you would be able to basically combine different strategies. And obviously, of course, like if one of your characters you want to use their super attack at the end, you would just swap them out and then bring them back in later once they recovered a bit of stamina. So it's really cool because this was a good strategy to kind of say, okay, which character I'm going to save for the last, because I want to make sure that I use this character first, because I don't want to use my trump card all the way at the beginning, right? Because as your trump card is of course something you want to use just at the end if possible, right? So it was a really cool thing. Like in Budokai Tenkaichi you even had the ability to play 5v5, which was just super long fights, but at the same time it was quite, you know, interesting because it was really cool. Now just imagine for a second you play online, you can play 5v5 and each person is controlled by a different person, like an actual human. So just imagine you go like an attack team with like 5 different humans fight against 5 different humans, and then like it just becomes like crazy, like a massive clash of characters. That would just be awesome, to be honest. And then final one, Evolution Z. That's right, this is where basically you add attributes, you you play with Zenny and you effectively like purchase power-ups for your character, and then effectively you just, you know, give them a massive health boost or massive armor or massive attack boost or just different abilities to be basically like customize your character. And if you really want to have like a close combat super high speed rush fighting character, you can have them. If you want to have like a key character which just pushes out a lot of key attacks and like flies around and has lots of health, you can do that as well. So there's different options and opportunities to basically like combine your character as you want, as per your particular, you know, interest, right? So yeah, so that's it guys for today's video. Of course, these are some of the 10 features which I would like to see, guys. Now, are we gonna see all of them? No idea, but from my point of view, the ones they should prioritize the most is, of course, number one, cinematics and controls needs to be really good. Animation and control needs to be super tight. That is a must for me, number one. Number two would be effectively giant roster. I really want to have lots of players there. I want to have like lots of different opportunities to make, of course, you know, you can make more content on YouTube as well for YouTubers, because you can play with different characters, showcase them, their different skills. That's really cool, right? That's really nice. Now, the next one, the world map, number three. I really want the world map because, guys, that's just so much fun. And finally, from my point of view, out of all of these, number 4 and 5 would be, number 4 would be for me this one, the ultimate battle game modes. Just give us tons of game modes to play with. And number 5 for me, the What If Saga. So that's the top 5 for me personally that we should definitely have in the new game. If we get these 5 at least, I'm gonna be happy and I'm not gonna complain. But if we get more than these, of course, then that's really good stuff, right? Now we're gonna get DLCs, of course. We're gonna get tons of DLCs. Don't worry about it, because the developers, as you know, Bandai Namco, they're gonna put in like tons and tons of DLCs in the game, as it happens with Xenoverse 2, but that's just how the world goes today. You don't have to buy all of them, you can just buy the ones you like, basically. But I'm pretty sure that once the game gets released at some point, maybe next year, they're gonna release literally a ton of DLCs with like Z characters, with super characters, with movie characters, and of course other different stuff. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next one. Bye.